What's up, boys? Here we go. You know what time it is. It's Tuesday night, which means it's time for a Jaguars United live show. And I know the vibes are a little low right now. I get it, boys. I get it. But we still have a football team. We're still in first place in the AFC South. We still have playoffs on the radar, and we're playing the worst team in the league next week, and the Titans, who we seem to have their number. So not all is gloomy. Okay, now I know the team was, that was one of the toughest games to watch of all time. Like, it was just terrible. And I've seen some bad games, and I get it. But we got each other, right? I'm seeing the chats already popping off. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for being a part. This is a live show. This is a fan show. So get in the comments. Let me know what you think. If there's a solution, what is it? Have you given up? Where do you feel? All right. And if you don't want to talk Jags, that's fine with me. Tell me what you did, how your Christmas was. Tell me if you did anything, any gifts you got, any gifts you bought other people. Sure. Whatever. I got a couple plays loaded up. I'm not going to show a lot of clips. I think I have like nine clips. Not going to break down the game. I can't do it. I could barely watch it. I did, but I could barely watch that game. That was bad. Before we get into everything, sorry, just chugged some liquid. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you get notifications whenever we go live. During the season, we do shows Tuesday and Friday nights at 9 p.m. And then the off season, we do weird stuff. So make sure you're subscribed to all that so that you know. Make sure to follow the Instagram and the Twitter. Although I did not even look at Twitter one time during the game because I couldn't do it. 2 games left in the regular season, though, boys. So let's go. Try get into the comments. I try to hit all the comments, so I'm going to try to get all of them. Callie Jags, the first one here. What's up, Callie? Callie says, here. Love to see that. Channel member Sharney says, I've given up on happiness. For the Jags, Sharney. William says, let's go. William's pumped. I'm glad to see that. Sharney says he doesn't need happiness. Guy says up. Volkfang channel member says pain. Robert Atzert says here but not. LOL, what a game. About as here as our offense, says Sharney. Volkfang says I haven't felt motivated to watch any games these last few weeks. Rico channel member says, I don't know what to say, but what's up? What's up, Rico? I hope everything's going all right with you. Like I said in the intro, I hope you had a good Christmas. Mine was good. Got to spend time with family, friends, things like that. Callie Jack says, I'm just tired of thinking we're going to win. I can handle thinking we're going to lose. We've been doing that for years, but this, come on now. That's fair. Shay, channel member, says, still Duval till we die. That's right, Shay. That's right. Listen, if we were here in the 1-win seasons and the 2-win seasons, we're going to be here when we're in first place of the AFC South with 2 games left to go in this season, even though we've lost 4 in a row. Channel member 100 miles per hour says, Timmy called it 30-0. Timmy's going to come strolling in here in a little bit, spewing his I told you so, and we're going to have to take it. And that's okay. Rajiv says, going to need some good vibes here, United. I'll try my best. Sharney says, we're going to beat the Panthers. It ain't a high bar, but it's our bar. 100 miles per hour says, yo, this team is pathetic and bulky. Should just resign because WTF. William says, listen, I'm not happy about these last 4 games, but we're 8-7 right now. This is still better than recent years. A lot needs to change, but it's better than 1-15. That's right, William. Jarrett Williams says, yo, 100 miles per hour says, I'm the new Timmy. Straight pessimistic views at this juncture. We'll call it realistic. We're not going to call it pessimistic. We don't want to be pessimistic. We can be realistic, but not pessimistic. Channel member Nick Ludwig says, Luke Fortner is the gift that keeps on giving. Let's take a look at the PFF grades while we're talking about the gifts that keep on giving here. I'm just going to hide the chat for a second here. Elijah Cooks. People have been banging the drum on Elijah Cooks for a while. He only played 14 snaps, but I think he had 3 catches. Graded out pretty good, 76.8. Calvin Ridley graded out pretty good. If you take out the one end around run that got tackled for minus like 10, that Tim Jones couldn't hold his block on, then his grade, he'd probably be the highest graded player on the team. CJ Beathard actually came in and played pretty well. So we'll get to that in a little bit. What do y'all think about next week with Beathard? Like, I know Trevor's got the strained AC joint. You could tell he was off, man, because he missed so many throws, man. He missed so many throws, just high, low, left, right. It was just all over the place. He was just spraying the ball over the field. Like, I kind of want Beathard to start against the Panthers. Like, I feel like if Beathard just goes out there and doesn't turn the ball over, we can win this game. And then we win this game, and then we're sitting pretty. So I know Trevor's got the streak of not missing starts, and that's cool. But I think I'm over the streak. I think I'm over it. So I'd love to just kind of have a game that's turnover free. So let me know what y'all think about that. Brandon Scher finally had a good game, according to PFF. Evan Ingram had a good game. He had that one fumble, which lowered his grade a lot. If it wasn't for the fumble, he would have probably been one of the highest graded players as well. Britton Strange, I thought, played terrible. And a 64 grade isn't good, but he's 6th on the team. Walker Little, I didn't think played very well. I thought Travis Etienne played better than this. Tim Jones played a lot of snaps, 45 snaps for Tim Jones. Look at that. Anton Harrison got hurt. He was decent. Agnew, decent. Very good in special teams. Luke Farrell, I thought, had the worst game of his season. Look at this pass blocking grade. And, like, oh, you can't see it because my head's in the way here. Look at this pass blocking grade. 20.6. So, not good. Not good for he had a bad game. And I was kind of beating the drum on Luke Farrell for a while, but everyone was getting beat. And here's what I mean. Like, plays where receivers were supposed to block or tight ends were supposed to block, like, they all were getting whipped by the Bucs. They could not handle the pressure. And it's like the coaches knew that the Bucs were going to send pressure on a bunch of plays. So they had the team prepared for picking up blitzes from corners and linebackers and safeties, but they just couldn't do it. Like, they just quite frankly don't have the right personnel. It is what it is. I'm sad to say it. Maybe Matt Barkley is the answer here. Let me get some more of these comments here. William says, listen, I'm not happy about these last 4 games, but we're 8-7 right now. This is still better. Okay, I read that one already. Jarrett Williams says, I got those already. Volkfang says, I'm not superstitious. It doesn't matter if or when I watch the Jags. They're going to look cooked until the team all agrees that this is unacceptable. I just don't think they're good enough. They're just not a good enough team to execute. It sucks. And maybe Cam Robinson will help. But like I said, it's the receivers blocking. It's the tight ends picking up blitzes. It's Trevor, and maybe he's hurt, but he's just not playing well. He's just not playing well. That's the bottom line. Volkfang says, hope everyone had a good Christmas and a happy holidays. That dude Evan says, vibes are whack. Good thing Jason is here. I am here, Evan. I am here. C Breacher, who will probably show up later, he bought me Madden for Christmas. And because I was talking all this junk about beating him in Madden, even though I hadn't played this year's at all. So he bought me Madden. I played a couple games online. I went like 8-0 online. I was feeling really good. C Breacher jumps on, literally beats me like 80-30. I could not stop. I was like, okay, I got some work to do here. Guy says, I lost it. Guy says, Balky's thinking he can fix this team in the offseason by drafting 4 more linebackers and a running back in the 3rd round. New quarterback 3 says Steiny. 100 says, we don't need to talk Jags. Let's talk about DB Cooper or something. Doorman Like says, looking at that 24 draft class, that's how I'm feeling about the season. We're not quite there yet, Doorman. Not quite. But I thought about bringing up the list here. I carried around my 14-month-old son to different family members' houses. It was like carrying a strong 25-pound weight that's actively fighting to not be held. Volkfang, it's impressive that you're surviving having a 14-month-old. I don't have any kids myself, but I know that it's a daunting task. D. Steiny says, hard to see this team on full implosion. We're still here for sure, says. That's what I appreciate about Cali Jag. Cali Jag's always here. You guys are always here. We're always here. We have each other. We don't have the Jags right now, but we have each other. All right, so we got this, boys. That dude, Evan, says, unfortunately, my inner Timmy came out during the game. Timmy's getting a lot of love here. Volkfang says, I can't offer any real analysis except for the, oh no, we suck again. And they need the entire team to start taking their job seriously before they end up flipping burgers or selling me a car. That effort, this is from Jarrett Williams, that effort was so heartless and gutless. Did we let all our gutsy players walk in the offseason? I don't know. You're right. You can't quantify heart and gut. But you're right. It absolutely was just terrible. We'll just take a look at Trevor's 2 picks here real quick. This one, I mean, these route concepts are, this is a great play, but these route concepts are just so long and the offensive line can't block. I know Doug Peterson said, and it was just 3rd and long, and I know Doug Peterson said that the receivers aren't getting the hand check signals on the change of plays here, but you try to throw to Parker Washington on a seam, and it seems like Trevor thinks he's going to run a curl, and Parker Washington keeps running, and that's just not going to work. His second pick here, again, I think he's throwing to Calvin Ridley here at the bottom of your screen. No, I'm sorry, Evan Ingram, sorry. Throwing to Evan Ingram and just overthrows him. And again, I know he's playing injured. I know he's injured everywhere in his body's hurt. But you don't even give Ingram a chance on that play. So, and I know, I'm not talking crap about Trevor. Trevor's, I still think, generational. I still think he's the best thing to happen to the Jags. He's just, he goes through streaks like this, boys. He goes through streaks. We've seen him get streaky. So, if he gets hot, hopefully he gets hot here. I say take the week off. Let Beathard go in there play. Beathard's, I rewatched the end of the game when Beathard was in there, and he's just solid, man. He's just solid. He has a good feeling of the pocket, right? He knows how when to get rid of the ball. He's really good at throwing it to his checkdowns. Doesn't try to force anything. So I don't know. Let's see what else we got here in the comments. Matt Barkley will lead us to the promised land. That's so funny that Matt Barkley is on this team. It's funny. Blake Hance on an NFL roster. Cole Van Lanen came in and played right tackle. He has one play where he looks, he's just overmatched. And he's a guard playing tackle, so, I can't really blame him. But Sharney says, never good when you don't see your quarterback 1 up here on the list. Trevor's for sure not healthy. Let Trevor rest. Save him. Luke Farrell finally had a meh PFF. It's true, guy. Luke Farrell has been the highest rated PFF player, even though it's been 15 snaps and under. But he just had a like I said, that's the thing that stood out to me the most. The tight ends and the running backs could not pick up the blitz. They just were getting abused every single time whenever we were blitzing. Jamal Agnew, who played corner 2 years ago, is a starting wide receiver for us currently. He had a good comeback route on the sideline, and he's very good at kick return. I think he had over 100 yards of kick return yards. So, granted, he had 4 chances, but still. G. Grant says, finally the fan base will stop with this weird need to move on from Cam Robinson. Yeah, I know. We need him back. Dan Middlebrooks is here. I knew he'd show up. He says, check it in, baby. Bucs pillaged and plundered. Fire the cannons. Baker Mayfield for MVP. Still love you, Jason. Dan, I'll give you that one. Dan. Only because I love you. G. Grant says, how can anyone say Trevor isn't playing well without calling out ETN? The interior offensive line is a liability. ETN didn't have a great game. He had a good game running, but like I said, picking up the blitz, he was not very good. Balky refused to sign big free agents. It's so frustrating. Timmy Devil. Oh, here he is. He says, United, I'm here for the ride. Timmy Devil, you got to go back and watch the beginning of the show. There was 8 people that were like, I'm on Timmy's side. I'm on Timmy's side. So you've gotten quite the fan base around you, Timmy. G. Grant says, we still have 2 games left. Trevor better not sit. If we miss the playoffs, he can rest in 3 weeks. Dan Middlebrook says, is Blake Bortles still around? Maybe he can come in and light a fire. Okay, now, Dan, I'm okay with you coming in and talking about the Bucs being better because they were. I'm okay with you, but what we will not allow is any Blake Bortles slander. Absolutely not. The boat. No slander about the boat around here, all right? That man's a legend. G. Grand says, look at the INT to Ingram, who is open. All right, let's take a look here. So it looks like they're in a 10 personnel. Ridley's, they're playing off coverage here. This was, I don't know what down distance is here. So they're running, they're running just like 4 verts, dude. It's just like, they're just running 4 verts. So they're playing a cover 2. So this is the right read to hit. This is the right read here. You have a safety over the top of Ridley. You have a safety kind of playing both of the verticals here. The right read is Ingram. He just, doesn't make a good throw. It's the right read. You throw the middle of the field on cover 2. And that's good coverage. Ingram's not open, and Ingram had a good game when he had 10 catches. But if you're going to throw it to him, you have to at least, lead him a little bit. Give him a chance, right? This was just a missed throw. Just a horrible missed throw. When we see it from the end zone, you can see it. Just a... maybe he thought Ingram was running a vertical, and he ended up running a post. I don't know. It's not a good throw. I think Ingram was supposed to run a post right there. He did run a post. I think Trevor threw a seam vertical. Actually thinking about it, my son would probably look better on the field at 2'8" and 25 pounds. This team is lacking talent when they shouldn't be, and lacking effort when they should be feeling motivated. They do lack talent. It does seem like the effort's not there with all the missed tackles. It's just too much inexcusable play. O-line needs some serious rebuilding. Timmy says, like I said last week, we lose to Tampa, lose to the Panthers, and beat the Titans. Timmy, I hope you're wrong. Timmy. Shay says, if the Jags can't get up for this game to look like they want to play with all that was at stake, why would we expect them to get up for the last 2 games? Well, it's like the self-inflicted errors. It's not so much this is Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram's my favorite Jaguar right now. He's a great player, and you have to kind of live with this stuff when you have a good player, but you just can't fumble here. And this is toward the end of the game. It doesn't really matter, but it's just you can't fumble. You can't throw the ball to the other team. You can't miss the hand signal, right? You can't do that. You can't here's another play where Trevor gets sacked and fumbles here. Again, you're going to see the Bucs are going to blitz, and the Jags have just a deep route concept called. They got 11 personnel. They got a running back and a tight end. They probably should have kept back. I don't know if this is Strange or Farrell or Ingram, but they should have probably kept him back because you could see they're blitzing. Agnew even points out the blitz is coming. The Bucs are bringing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Bucs are bringing 7. Okay, so you have 5 linemen blocking, and you have ETN picking up this blitzer here. So there's going to be a free blitzer, so the ball has to come out quick. Trevor has to know that Trevor needs to be better. He's got to kind of get more depth here. If he's going to wait for Tim Jones to cross here or for Ingram to run this little mesh concept, you got to know that. And here, you got to throw the ball. You're not going to have time right here to throw the ball. You got to throw the ball. Instead, he doesn't throw it. He gets sacked, fumbled, and again, this is kind of on Trevor. They called the right play here. This is the mesh is a good play call here. Got to throw it right there. I know, and it's half a second. It's half a second, but that's the NFL, man. You got to throw it right there. But now it's a fumble. Bucs got it. And again, that's I can't really say that that's just poor execution. That's just poor execution. And you can't even blame the offensive line there. People are going to look at that and they're going to blame the offensive line. They're the offensive line can't protect Trevor. They brought 7, and we had 6 in protection. Trevor's got to know that. Trevor's got to know, okay, I am not going to have time to throw on this play. And I know you need chunk yardage late in the game. It's third down. I get all that. But you got to at least let your play, got to have a chance to make a play here. 100 miles per hour says, we spent the second most money this year on the defensive side of the ball, by the way. Does that include the restructuring? Because we didn't sign anybody. Beathard throws this from Shea. Beathard throws the ball deep a lot, which is good, but he loves to curl up and take a sack. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not going to throw a pick, and that kind of goes back to him. He's not going to make mistakes, right? And even on the deep balls he throws them like too far, right, to where either his guy makes a great catch or no one gets it. But he's not going to turn the ball over. So he'll be like, all right, we may not make spectacular plays, but I'm not going to turn the ball over. Whereas Trevor's like, I'm going to make a spectacular play. So I think I want, if Trevor is healthy to play and he can operate at 80% or higher, then Trevor needs to play. But if you're starting to get to a 75% Trevor, a 70% Trevor, then I think a Beathard is the right move there. 100 says, not only does Rayshawn need to be benched, but put him in a cell and max him out. I know. I mean, he had the one pick last week, but Wingard had a great tackle for loss on his play. Let's look at the defensive PFF. Actually, let's look at Trevor. Like, one of the things that makes Trevor good is he stretches the ball downfield typically. He only had 2 passes over 20 yards. I mean, historically, Trevor is lights out in this middle of the field range. I mean, he's usually like 10 for 10 or 8 for 11 middle of the field. 2 for 6 with 2 picks. That's just atrocious. That's just absolutely atrocious. He did not have a good game at all. Did not have a good game at all. Let's look at Beathard's. Yeah, there's Beathard's deep ball Shea was talking about, 0 for 1. Again, like check down king. Look at this. 8, 9, 10 passes under 10 yards, 2 passes between 10 and 20, and 1 pass 20 and further. So this is what Beathard's going to give you. He's going to give you little check downs. That's what he's going to do. All right, so look at the defensive PFF here. Adam Gotsis played lights out in his 31 snaps. I think he had like 2 batted balls. Tyler Lacey's showing up on the PFF for the first time ever. He's usually not grading out well, but only played in 11 snaps. Aluakon's always good. Trey Herndon actually had a good game. I think he had 2 dropped picks where he should have had interceptions. So he played well in his 17 snaps. Fatu Kasi finally showing up a little bit. Rayshawn with a 70 grade. Not terrible. Wingard, not bad on his 33 snaps. Buster Brown, Devin Lloyd, Josh Allen. Your best player can't grade out 63. He can't. Trevon Walker, even worse down here. You can't even see him on the screen. My boy Clayvon down here playing terrible. Cisco had a bad game, bro. Cisco had a bad game. I mean, that touchdown to Mike Evans. Like, I don't know what he was doing on it. I think I have it on here. To be fair, they do swap sides of the field. Like, Jenkins swap sides of the field. But you're playing middle of the field deep free safety. Okay? You're in a cover 1. Basically meaning man. He has free range to be middle of the field free safety. Now, you have Darius Williams over here who's playing off. Okay, so he's not going to need a lot of help. Because when you're playing defensive back, you have to assess where's my threats, right? We talk about this all the time. Where are my threats? Okay, so middle of the field, your threats are a post here or a post here. So he has to look out for that there, okay? By the way, like, the Bucs ran a lot of empty personnel, so basically like 5 wide receivers, obviously, and the Jags could never get pressure. And Baker's good at throwing it quick and finding the soft spots in the zone, but we could not get pressure with 4 when they were in empty, and you have to get pressure with 4 when empty. So Cisco's back here. I understand his threats are middle of the field, but you got to know where Mike Evans is, right? Because like Mike Evans is like that guy, and I know you're trusting Tyson Campbell, even though he hasn't been playing great, to be one-on-one with him. But you got to know where Mike Evans is. So at the snap, okay, so here, he's looking at the quarterback. Baker Mayfield's looking to the left, and he's still kind of moving to the left side of the field. He needs to be, coming toward Mike Evans at this point. I know he sees the out here, and he's just trying to do his job, but you got to know. So he's out of position right here. I mean, he is way out of position. Baker's already thrown the ball. He didn't even look him off over here. It's not like he looked him off. And I know Tyson Campbell, I mean, he's in man. It's his responsibility. But Cisco should have been more on top of this play. He really should have. And then a touchdown. And we saw, when we did our film preview show on Friday night, we showed this play in 3 different games that Baker Mayfield likes to throw the post to Mike Evans. So if you do your homework, you know this play is coming eventually. Great throw, but you got to be better than that if you're Andre Cisco. You got to be better than that. I know he had a good start to the season, but, I mean, you got to be better than that. I'm backed up on the comments here. Dan Middlebrook says, bigger ETN hit in Jags this week. Travis laying an egg in Tampa or Trevor turncoating to Georgia. I mean, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to play for Billy Napier either. BT says, I'm here for emotional support. Rough few weeks. Amazing that the Colts and Texans lost too. Can't believe we can still hobble to the playoffs like a dead man walking. Can we get it together? I love it, BT. Appreciate you being here. G. Grant says, playing Beathard is punting the season. Survived the last 2 games, and we have a playoff game against the Cleveland with our left tackle back and Walker Little back inside. Christ is the redeeming bread of life says, Trevor is not elite. We need to draft a quarterback. That's just not a great comment there. And I don't usually say that, but that's not a good comment. Let's see here. Okay. If Trevor is an elite, what is Luke Fortner, Tyler Shatley, ETN? You can't address quarterback and walk right past the worst starters. Trevor is really good in Madden, at least, says Jack Gator. 100 miles per hour says, I've not been the fire press guy, but recently he's been doing dog shit. BT says, backups have been playing off the charts this season. Maybe Beathard carries us. There's a good point. Timmy Devil says, yeah, Rayshawn has lost a step, and Dewey is not a starter, and definitely bad in one-on-one coverage. Safety needs work. G. Grant says, Beathard checking down in garbage time. We literally do not stand a chance with him. Time to just let Antonio Johnson, man. I know. What's up with, why isn't he playing? I know he's been injured, but when he plays, he's good. Timmy says, yeah, guy, I love Trevor, but like I've said before, he's not a Hall of Famer. He may never get an All-Pro. 100 says, Tyson and Cisco need to call it this year. LOL. They're kept trying to rush them back from the hammy, and they both won't be healthy at all this year. I was watching the Patriots back up man, this dude is moving, getting out of the pocket, throwing accurate. Robbie Sanchez says, if you were bulky, what would you do to change this thing around? I don't know if there's much you can do at this point because who you have in the building is who you have in the building. And, I mean, Doug decides who starts. Why isn't Antonio Johnson starting? There has been a lot of injuries. The guys that we counted on earlier in the season, like Cisco and Tyson Campbell and Devin Lloyd, and those guys just aren't playing well right now. Volkfang says, we had an electric start to the season, and then no one came back from the bye week. Last time I saw the stat, defensive EPA before the bye week, 6th. After the bye week, 29th. G. Grant responds to Timmy Devil, saying, negative. There's not an active quarterback who hasn't won an MVP that could win behind this offensive line. Everything looks bad. And that was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I believe in Beathard. This is from DJ Fiend. I believe in Beathard. He's going to get us the win versus Carolina. What else do we have in here? This is Trevor getting sacked. I think this is a bad route concept. Oh, this is what I was talking about with the tight ends just not blocking. I mean, nobody does good here. Ezra Cleveland does bad. Luke Farrell does bad on this play. If we watch from the end zone here, So, I mean, they're trying to do a max protect deep route concept here, okay? So they know the blitz is coming. They're going to basically just run a route with 2 guys. I don't know what the concept is. I don't know if it's I can't remember what the route concept is, but it's deep route concepts. They're going to go max protect, and they still can't protect. This one's not on Trevor. This was a bad play call. This one's on Press or Doug or whoever calls it. This was a bad play call right here. I mean, Luke Farrell just gets whipped right here. Watch him on this cross block right here. Comes across formation. That's bad, bud. That's bad, Lukey. We talked about their tight ends. I think Timmy talked about they're going to destroy us here. It's Devin Lloyd, just the out and up. Like, come on, Devin. You gotta be better than that. Like, you got drafted on your athleticism, man. You can't let this slow tight end run an out and up on you. Baker throws a dot, though. If I was bulky, this is from Volkfang, I'd admit I'm in over my head, quit, and let someone more competent take over. We know he's not going to do that, because why would anyone quit that job? G. Grant says, full 4 years to know what? He got a playoff win with an Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk, the whole team, including coaches, are in a massive slump. Even God-tier quarterbacks have rough patches, still very young. Sharney says, man, we going to win. I hope so. Do I have any other plays on here? I think that's it for the plays. So, I don't know, boys. Listen, things aren't great right now. Okay, but they're not horrible because like I said, we're still in first place. Like, all it takes is, like, if we have a good game against Carolina, let's say we beat Carolina by 2 touchdowns, right? Let's say we win 28-14. Everyone's going to be here, pumped, excited, ready to go. Things are back on schedule. We're back. We just need that, and that's okay. Listen, the NFL season is a long season. We're in a 4-game losing slump. It's not ideal. It hasn't come at a great time. But the NFL is about getting hot at the right time, and we still have time to get hot. We do. We need some guys to step up and make a play. We need, the play calling to be better on both sides. We need to watch film. Like, it's inexcusable that Andre Sisco was not expecting Mike Evans to run a post route on that. It's inexcusable. You have to know that. It's inexcusable for Luke Farrell to whiff a block right there. It's inexcusable for Evan Ingram to fumble the ball when he's trying to fight for extra yards. And, it happens. We see it happen every week to every team, but, you just can't compound those things, man. And I'll put some on Trevor. It's inexcusable to overthrow your tight end in the middle of the field. If you overthrow your tight end on a 4 verts route concept against a cover 2 defense, you're probably going to throw an interception. That's the reality of the situation. Christ is the redeeming bread says the Patriots' 3rd string Zappy is better. He's not better than Trevor. He's not better. That's nobody would say that. If you asked 100 people that were not Patriots fans, all 100 people would say Trevor Lawrence is better. Okay, Zappy had a good game. Cool. I've seen Zappy be terrible. So we're going to take 1 game sample size and compare it to 1 game sample size of Trevor? That's not how statistics work. 100 miles per hour says another bulky miss with Lloyd. Quay Walker is better. Yeah, that Devin Lloyd pick was not ideal. And I know all the draft experts liked it because they had a high draft grade on Devin Lloyd. But maybe you don't take an off-ball linebacker from Utah when you have a off-ball linebacker from Georgia who's available. DJ Fiend says, don't worry, guys. Our savior, Cam Robinson, is back practicing. Cam is actually big news, says Sharney. I know. Listen, we did a full 180. Off-season, we were like, we don't need Cam. Now we're like, we need Cam. We need Cam right now. ASAP, we need Cam. Ben Wilmot says, even though football life sucks right now, I got to be here for the great Jags United content. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Ben, thank you for hanging in there with me. I love talking to you guys. It's the best part of my week. I look forward to it. I was a little tired last night. I hung out with some friends. I was out a little late because I'm off this week. So hung out with my brother and my sister-in-law, and I stayed up a little too late. I was kind of dragging ass today. So I was like, you know what? I got to get up for this show. So I pounded a Celsius about an hour ago, feeling good. My heart's palpitating. And my talking speed is a little faster than normal, but that's okay because I love being here with you guys. So I appreciate you, Ben. Sharney says we also need a kicker. Right, tried out. I did see that. I'm not too worried about. Am I in the minority from not worrying about McManus? I mean, the dude missed like a 54-yarder into the wind, and it made it look bad because of the Bucs kicker made theirs. But he's fine. He's fine. I'm not worried about our kicker. All right, those 2 field goals, it wasn't going to change the game. Lloyd was a miss. Zappy is poop. Yes, he is. Fan base has had dirt at quarterback for so long, they don't know the top quarterbacks are not going to be good every game, every snap. That's a good point, G. Grant. I like that point. Big Shad says they didn't add anybody in the offseason because they thought the same team from last year could improve year after year. They also were a little strapped on cash, right? Like I think that's why they didn't add a pass rusher, because I think they're like thinking like, we got to re-sign Josh Allen, and like re-signing Josh Allen is more important. If someone like, heaven forbid, somebody like gets hurt like Josh Allen or Trevor Lawrence like earlier in the season, like they had to think about this. Like if one of those top guys, if ETN, one of those top guys goes down, then you have to go out and get a guy in free agency. And so I think they were kind of factoring that in, so they didn't want to break the bank on a pass rusher. So I get why they didn't do that. I'm glad they upgraded the offensive line on the trade deadline. Like I think that was okay. It's just he's just drafting the wrong people. Like he's just drafting the wrong people. Like Brenton Strange was not a good draft pick there. Tank Bigsby was not a good draft pick there. Look back to the year before, taking Buster Brown and Monteric Brown and Gregory Jr. Not good picks. Tyler Lacey contributed for the first time ever last week. You're cutting guys you drafted in late rounds. Like you drafted a fullback I know it was the 7th round, but like you drafted a fullback. Why? You don't use a fullback. Oh, he might be able to play DN. Well, he can't. He can't. So they're not drafting the right guys, and that's the bottom line. It sucks, and it's hard, but that's what you're evaluated on as a GM. You got to draft the right guys. Chase says, let's play some Warzone. Forget about that last week. Now we're talking. I get dumped on in Warzone, dude. Those kids are freaking cracked. Just slide canceling all over the place. Sharney says, McManus isn't clutch. We need a clutch kicker. Worrying about a kicker is like worrying about a scratch on your car while the car is on fire. Imagine if Tank was running back 1 right now. Oof. Volkfang says, Bulky is saving money to extend Josh and Trevor. 3rd round pick with 5 snaps in 6 games. Sharney says, the kicker regularly scores the most points on any team. That's a very weird analogy. I think what he's talking about is like we actually went out and got Brandon McManus. Like we signed him in free agency. He's not one of these cheap kickers. He's probably one of the most expensive kickers in the league, and I'm not worried about him. Like I'm not worried about the kicker. I'm really not. I want to look up highest paid kickers. Highest paid kickers. Matt Gay, 4-year, 22.5. Oh, geez. All right, so we're not even in the top 10. Holy crap, dude. The Colts. Oh, you guys can't see it. The Colts are paying Matt Gay so much money. My goodness. Matt Gay, $9.1 million. Jason Myers, Jaguar cast off, $8.7 million. Justin Tucker, $7.3. Graham Gano, Tyler Bass, Jake Elliott. Look at highest paid punters, just for fun. Brad Pinion, Jack Fox, Tress Way, Rigoberto Sanchez, John Hecker, Tommy Townsend, former Gator, Cam Johnson, Brian Anger, former Jag. So, yeah. Our first pick in the draft has to be O-line. Yeah, that Trevon Walker pick is actually, it's not looking good at this point. But I mean, he's a project. He's a developmental project. He'll be fine. He'll be okay. Right, guys. I need some reinforcement out of y'all. I need some positive reinforcement out of y'all. Anything else to look at here? I don't know, boys. Cornerback. Let's look at the what's going to 2024. It's almost 2024, boys. I don't really want to talk about the Jags in last week anymore, so let's just look at a mock draft. Again, I'm not saying anything like this. I just want to look at a mock draft. We'll probably be picking, around like, let's see where they have us picking. They have us picking Troy Fatuanu, offensive line out of Washington. .6'4", 317. Transfer from Liberty. Also played volleyball. A unique combination of sport for an offensive lineman. Huh. COVID year. That's pretty crazy that he played volleyball. I kind of like that. Patrick Paul, offensive tackle out of Houston. Who else is around here that we could take? I would love Keon Coleman. I love Keon Coleman. Amaris Mims from Georgia is going to be around there. Terrion Arnold from Alabama. Graham Barton from Duke. Kalen King, Penn State. Tyler Goyton, Oklahoma. And Cooper DeJean from Iowa. Sell the house for Marvin Harrison Jr., says Timmy Devil. I wish, dude. We have to trade like the next 4 years first round picks to get him. Is it me or is wide receiver first round wild? Offensive line is the softest unit in the league. Wide receiver in the first round is so crazy. Volkfang says our first pick needs to be a good player. Our second pick needs to be a good player. And our third pick needs to be a good player. Spot on, Volkfang. Absolutely spot on. I could not agree any more with that comment. And that really is the problem. Silver lining is that Tyson won't cost as much as he's playing the way he is. That is a silver lining. Very good point. Silver lining, nobody's going to get a big bag, says Chase. Volkfang says, we need to stop drafting an inside linebacker no matter how much of a steal it is and get players that can actually start and not be a liability. I know, guys. I know. But, hey, what are you going to do? What are we going to do at this point? We have the Panthers coming up. They're at home. I'll be there. Should be a fun game. I got a buddy coming in town. We're going to go to the game. So if you guys are at the game, hit me up. We can have a good time. So that's the sad thing is the Sunday night game and the Monday night game, crap games from Jags, but I had fun still. I mean, we have an NFL town in our NFL team in our city, and so I try not to lose sight of that. If we can keep Trevor, we're okay. We're okay. Placing a small futures bet on Foye making the pride of the Jaguars. Only Josh Allen deserves a big bag. Josh Allen is good. Everyone else needs to go pick up a broom. We need to look at this. What's the score of this? Texas State won. Nice. Won that bet. All right, boys. I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to bet on some football here. I'm probably going to jump on Twitch here in a second. So Twitch is in the video description and kind of mess around on there. Appreciate you guys all being here. I had a good time talking to you guys. It's a little bit shorter show, but quite frankly, I don't want to talk about this team much more. I like to talk more to you guys than I do about this team right now, and that's just the truth of the matter. Big Shot says Ridley has to dominate versus Shaq. I can't believe he's a starter. Tyson's about to be a bargain. Way to play yourself out of a big contract. He did get injured. Like Luke Fortner, food handler's card. Okay. All right, boys. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you to all the channel members that were here. 100 miles per hour. Volkfang, Sharney. Shout out to Timmy Devil. 100 miles per hour. All the commenters that are here all the time. I appreciate you guys too. Don't have time to go through everybody. BT was here, channel member. Shay, obviously can't. Nick Ludwig, can't forget you guys. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be on Twitch a lot this week. I've been on Twitch a lot the last couple weeks. I'm off, or the last week because I was off. So hit me up on there. Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Like the video while you're here. That helps the algorithm. Tell a friend that's a Jags fan about the channel. Get them involved as well. But I really do appreciate you guys being here. Sorry I didn't have more positive things to talk about. But I hope we'll keep our heads high and we'll keep our eyes on the horizon. Did you like that? Did you like that? Yep. BT says, Happy New Year, boys. Have a great Happy New Year if I don't talk to you guys before then. Oh, no, I will. I'll talk to you on New Year's Eve or the day before. I'll see you guys. Love you guys. As always, go Jags.